Hi everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Jimmy Dore Show. Guess who I'm joined by? It's the 7th place winner of the Robert De Niro Lookalike Contest, Steve Rosenfield. Hey, Steve. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, today, I don't know if I'm sure you're familiar with the Rutgers basketball coach. His name Mike Rice, I think is his name. And so he went a little maniac. He went a little Bobby Knight, as we used to say, on his players, and it got out, right? So they got a videotape of his practice sessions, and he's beat the shit out of everybody, and he's using gay slurs. He's calling people names, right?
Mm-hmm.
I won't repeat
bad names.
I won't repeat them because then the gay mafia is going to come after me. And
well, now they will.
yeah, and you know when they put it, yes. So,
Ixnay on the A gay mafia.
I screwed up. Okay, so let's get to it. So it was horrible. He had to resign. A lot of people are quitting, and that guy will never work again in basketball. Anyway, so they're going to play the videotape for you. Sean Hannity had on Michelle Malkin, and they were talking about it. And Sean Hannity, of course, is kind of cool with it, right? He's kind of cool with whatever.
What a shock.
Wow, this crazy right-wing sadistic motherfucker is cool with it. So, but it's funny. I want to play the clip and listen to him because as he's trying to dismiss what the guy did and trying to downplay what the guy did, what they're doing is running the videotape of the guy doing all these things, right? And Sean's trying to talk as they're playing the videotape, and he keeps kind of having to notice, oh, here he hits. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's play the first clip.
Sure. Rutgers basketball coach. And this is interesting to me. A guy named Mike Rice, he just got let go after this video revealed him throwing the basketball at the players and being kind of rough on him, pushing him around a little bit. You can see him there and actually hitting some of the kids. He was very intense. So get in the game. You can see a video there where he's actually pushing one of the players. There's one instance where he throws the ball at him there, and it was really. And I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, all right, I don't like it. He kicked one player there. But on the other hand, you know what? I kind of like old-fashioned discipline on the other hand.
It was so funny that he has to, what's the big deal? All right, he just choked a kid. Or whatever. All right, there, he's kicking a guy in the nuts. What's the big deal?
Beat him with a tire iron. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Not so bad. He just smashed his head into the wood. It's not a big deal. Okay, there's no blood is my point.
They can't prove anything.
Yeah, he calls it old-fashioned discipline, of what we call nowadays sociopathic basketball coaches. That's what we call it. Okay, so maybe he's a bit rough, right? Maybe he's a bit rough, kicking, punching, calling kids faggots, but he did all those things to Alan Combs for 13 years, so...
Nobody complained?
Nobody complained.
Not a word. People enjoyed that.
Yes, do you know what he said to Alan Combs? Play the next clip.
I mean, have we become that politically incorrect? These are adults. They don't want to play for that team. They can leave.
Yeah, they don't like it, you can leave. That's what he told Combs, and yet he stayed for 13 years.
Glutton for punishment.
Yeah, these kids, they're adults, Sean Hannity says. They're adults, and if you don't like it, you can leave. And you know how easy it is to transfer colleges, get a spot on someone else's basketball team. It's just like that. It's nothing, especially when you're a kid with no money and no power. You're actually in college.
And they call you a baby for not being able to be called a faggot, Can't take it.
Can't take it. Oh, I called you a faggot. He's such a wuss. Right. That's pretty much what they're saying. All right, but he actually makes it out to be kind of a positive things when he says, here's Sean Hannity making it positive.
He's trying to do something because sports are so competitive today that he's trying to bring the best out of them, put discipline in that team, raise their game, force them to focus, force them to push them to become champions, and that takes intensity.
Yes, he's trying to teach the players an important lesson that sometimes the guy in charge of your basketball program is a huge asshole.
That's a life lesson, Jimmy.
And Mike Rice knows the sign of a truly great basketball player is the ability to take a punch.
Very important.
Very important.
When your coach is Mike Rice.
But he's saying, Sean Hannity's saying how he likes this kind of discipline, makes him a better team. That would be a good argument if Rutgers didn't completely suck. So I guess according to Sean Hannity's theory, Rutgers sucked because their basketball coach didn't hit them hard enough.
Too late now. Too late because he's gone.
Now he's gone. They'll never be. Those kids
We'll
will
never know.
and they'll never get better.
That's right.
How are they ever going to get better?
Because the next guy is obviously, is going to be nice.
Yeah.
Is going to screw up the whole formula.
Yes. So we'll never get a true reading.
No,
That's the problem. Okay. So now Michelle Malkin comes on, and here's what she has to say.
I mean, the problem isn't so much that there are consequences for hate speech, and I think there should be. The problem is that the left is so very, very, very selective about when it chooses to manufacture outrage and when it doesn't.
She makes a good point that there's so little to be outraged that the left has to manufacture it, Like the same way they made up the whole civil rights movement out of just a few lynchings.
A few isolated incidents,
come on.
and you have a whole movement.
Yeah. I knew that see, this is the story, right? So some basketball coach is caught on videotape physically and verbally abusing the students. And of course, it's because the liberals are assholes.
All roads lead to that. Liberals are bad.
Liberals, it's got something to do with it. I'm sure it does, right?
He must have done something.
Okay, Sean's got even more to say. Let's see the next clip.
I like the intensity. I like the drive. I like that he's pushing those kids and that he runs a tight ship. Maybe we need a little more discipline in society, and maybe we don't have to be a bunch of wimps for the rest of our lives.
Yes. Because real men, you don't want to be wimps for the rest. You want to be real men. Real men are verbally abusive, hurl homophobic insults in public, and hit people subordinate to them. That's what real men do. Way to go, Sean.
I would if I was a man.
But
I would. I mean it.
I like how, he's afraid we're coddling those kids. Like, oh yeah, like if you don't beat them, kick them, throw shit at their heads, you're coddling them. We're quit coddling these college basketball players who play like a bunch of gay guys anyway.
That's why he hit them.
Well, here's the thing. He says, at first he said, hey, they're adults. They can leave if they don't like it. But then he's like, he says, I like that the coach is pushing those kids. Well, first they're adults, now they're kids. And that does make sense because adults would never put up with that kind of shit.
They would not,
I'll tell you
no.
That. Right?
They actually are kids, it turns out.
It turns out they are kids, yeah. Who else?
Kids are hanging on by a thread to their careers, and they get a basketball in the face.
I can't imagine, like Pat Riley throwing a basketball at Shaq's head and Shaq going, I'm sorry.
He's right. I had that coming.
Yeah.
Fair, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, right?
No, I don't either.
Okay, so there's even more to say. Let's go to the next clip.
My father hit me with a belt. I turned out okay. Except for the minds of liberals.
Same here. Yeah, that's right.
Did you ever get hit? You didn't deserve it. I deserved it.
Oh, I certainly did.
You did.
And with more than a belt.
And you turned out okay.
Oh, well, I would say no, you didn't. Look at you. But sure, you guys turned out okay, except for your admiration for a bunch of sadistic jerks. How about that? They're crazy.
They turned out fine.
I like how he goes, I got hit. People always say that. I got hit with a belt and I'm okay. You're not okay because you think it's okay to hit kids with a fucking belt.
Yeah.
That's how it screwed you up. And then Michelle Malkin goes, I got even worse. And she, hey, a young girl got worse of a physical punishment than being hit with a belt by the person supposed to protect her. Let's giggle about it.
Now we want to know what they hit her with.
What did you hit her without a belt? That's
Yeah,
funny
with
though,
something more.
A little kid getting hit with something worse than a belt. Hilarious.
And now she's very, very bitter, but mostly against liberals.
And of course Hannity admires this coach, right? Because like any good conservatives, he hates a fair fight.
That's true, they do. Why is that?
That's really... let's see if I have any more jokes.
I'll wait here.
They both, so Hannity and Michelle Malkin both got beat by their parents as little kids, and all it did was clinch their careers as professional right-wing douchebags. That's all. That's
Very well paid.
That's the
douchebags.
effect. I wish if my parents would have hit me a little bit more. Maybe I could be
with
making,
more than a belt.
with
what?
More.
With a baseball
My
bat.
dad was a cop. He used to hit me with his holster.
With the gun out of it.
Yeah,
though.
the butt of the gun.
With the butt of the gun.
He'd hit me with the butt of the gun.
He was playing bad cop, worst cop.
Yeah. You want me to hit you with the holster or the butt of the gun?
You got a choice.
You can go hard or harder.
You confessed, though.
Yes, and just looking at that video made Sean you could tell he was like a little nostalgic for his childhood beatings.
Yes.
He was like, I remember when my dad used to beat
A
the
tear
shit
came
out
into
of
his
me.
eye.
Oh, remember those good old days? Little
Good
dad used
times.
to take me out, humiliate me in public.
Old man Hannity.